If you're still in pain at this point in your life, it's possible that there are people in your life that are keeping you in pain. When it comes to my own pain, one of the things that I've noticed over the years is that the environment that I'm in matters tremendously. So I want you to think for a moment about your life as an iPhone. I got my iPhone here. When your iPhone updates, it changes certain software parameters. It learns from how people are using the phone. It gathers data and it updates to try and make the experience more user-friendly. Thing is, people don't always like updates. If you're old enough to remember some of the early days of Facebook, back before it was anything what it is now, back before they even had an app, one of the things that would happen is Facebook would change how it was laid out on the website. And people would be like, I don't know where everything is. I can't find my groups. I can't find my games. I can't find Mafia Wars. If you remember Mafia Wars, that was the best game ever. If you were stuck on Facebook for hours at a time, that's probably why. People would get freaked out when the Facebook platform would change. There'd even be Facebook groups that would say, if we get 1 million people in this group, Facebook will change it back to how it was. Of course, we know now those groups were complete bullshit, and they weren't really going to help do anything except get you to join their group. And it's funny to think about that because people inherently don't like when things change, especially when they get used to it. So when it comes to your life, you're oftentimes going to encounter that there are people in your life. When you look for it, you'll see this. There are people in your life. They don't want you to change. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to be a different version of yourself than you currently are, because they've gotten used to you as you are. And so part of what makes your process of improving your pain better is that you start living your life in a better way, okay? The people that are the most successful when it comes to getting out of pain are people that are willing to change their life. And if you're not willing to change your life, you're going to be repeating the same patterns that are perpetuating your pain. But if you want to get out of pain, you have to change your life. And if you change your life, you're going to upset people. You're going to piss some people off. And so you're going to see that same kind of Facebook changing its layout pushback against you. You're going to see people that say, well, why would you want to do that? Or I think this problem is all in your head, which don't even get me started on how stupid that is. But as far as your ability to actually see the change through, get you where you want to go, you might have to actually cut people out of your life. So I tell people, there are 3 types of people that you're going to encounter along this journey. There are going to be people that you want to keep in your life. There are going to be people that you want to cut in your life. And there are going to be people you're going to need to limit in your life. The people you want to keep are the people that actually help you along the way. People that are supportive of you getting better. These are the people that they're not opposed to you changing, to you improving, to you actually seeing through the goals that you have once you get done with this pain experience. Those are the people you want to keep. Those are the people that are going to energize you and charge you up, and you want them in your life. And the question that you ask to determine, is this person somebody I want to keep or somebody I don't want to keep? Does this person support me in my goals? And if the answer is no, they might be somebody you need to cut. So when it comes to cutting people, you kind of have to be pretty ruthless. In my opinion, you have to draw a line in the sand and you have to say, this person no longer has a role in my life. Because this person is either negative, this person either influences my mindset in a negative way, and maybe this person has behaviors that if I'm around this person, I will adopt those behaviors. You've heard the adage from, I think Tony Robbins is the one that gets quoted to. I don't know who came up with it, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That is true. That is 100% true. And if you're not careful, you don't select those 5 people very intentionally, you might be becoming the average of people that you don't want to become the average of. So you might need to change who you spend your time with. So sometimes if you've come to that conclusion that that person is not the person that you want to actually absorb those behaviors into your life, you need to cut them. You cut them very, very ruthlessly. I've cut a lot of people out of my life over the last 1.5 years because I've been growing, I've been changing, I've been trying to address my situation as best I can from a business standpoint, from a pain standpoint, from a movement standpoint, from a health standpoint. And I'm seeing more success now in all of those areas than I ever have. And I attribute it primarily to this, which is cutting people out of your life that no longer help you get where you want to go. They're not supportive of that, or they're holding you back. They want the old version of Facebook. They want the old version of me. They maybe want the old version of you. And if that's the case, get them out of it, because they don't serve the new version of you that you are becoming. But you can't always cut people. Sometimes you just have to limit people. And the way you limit people is, I got this from a mentor of mine. You basically set a stopwatch for go. You go up, you interact with them, you talk to them, or they call you, and you're like, okay, how long do I got to deal with this person? And when you hit that point where you are now fed up, where you can no longer take it, where you can just feel your blood pressure rising, your blood is boiling, and you are on edge because of this person. First off, that's right there a sign they have no business in your life, but maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's a coworker. So you look at how long it takes before you get to that point. You say, all right, I got 43 seconds with Uncle Daryl before I got to cut him out of my life. I have 43 seconds before Daryl gets to the point where I can't stand him anymore. So now, when you know you have to interact with Uncle Daryl, you spend your time very, very carefully looking at, I'm only going to give him 43 seconds, and then I'm going to move on to doing something else. And that's how you can start to figure out how to actually organize your team, organize the people around you, create with intention the 5 people in your life that you want to become the average of. And then you go after it. As you start to improve, as you start to change, you start to take control of your life, you're going to find that a lot of people, they no longer serve a role in your life. And that's completely normal. That is completely okay. And you should be okay with that too. Because sometimes that's the reason you're not getting better. Because those people will tell you, don't get that treatment. Don't do that thing. Don't push yourself forward. Don't read those books. Don't watch those shows. Don't go study. Don't learn more. You're great the way you are. If you've got that inside burning desire to know that you could be doing more, you could be doing better, then you owe it to yourself to find out what kind of team really actually motivates you and pushes you forward.